Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Today is another B175 day, Peter's B175, and it's frame and forks. So we're going to make some progress with the frame. We'll get started on the forks, hopefully get a fork leg together. I'm just going to do the one because if you've seen one, you've seen them all. And we'll see how far we get. So I won't do my usual customary waffle. Thanks for being here. You're very welcome, and it's very much appreciated that you are here. Let's get on, do some work. Well, I've just looked at the camera battery and it's showing red, so I don't know how much more of this will do. I've done this side, I've got the swinging arm back in, I've done this side, the footrest hanger on the near side. I'm just going to do the offside one now. When you put the swing arm in, remember to put the shim on the right hand side or the offside if you drive on the left, near side if you drive on the right. But on the right hand side of the bike anyway. So we need some bits. What do we need? Need the footrest hanger. Need the exhaust bracket, which goes that way. Dog leg out the way. If I remember rightly, that goes there. Behind the passenger footrest. That goes on like that. Spacer and a bolt. And then we have the combined bolt grease nipple that goes in there. So, just going to grab some grease. This is the grease I'm using on the swinging arm, just your standard Castrol brown LM grease, because that's the grease that's in my grease gun. So before this is finished, I'll charge the grease gun. Excuse me, I'll use the grease gun to charge this full of grease so that it actually pops out of the gaps. And then we'll know that it's completely lubricated. But at the moment, I'm just using the grease a little bit more sparingly, so to ease the assembly. We're not absolutely clagged up with grease, basically. So where's the other? Let's get the other bolt. There it is with its washer and the spacer and the bolt for the spacer. I'm just going to stick a bit of this stuff onto here, just on the threads. And everything's come up really nice. All the, look at that, looks like new. Grease, the grease nipple has been blown out with compressed air, so it's absolutely clean as a whistle. And yeah, should all be good. Peter will be glad to know that his subframe that he bought is a good one. It all lines up nicely. Sometimes it gets quite bent out of shape. I mean, they're all a bit springy, in all fairness. Anyway, but yeah, sometimes they're horrendous. This one lined up pretty good. Looks good. So I'll just get that started in there. Like that. And generally what I use, you're thinking, why you got 2 pots of grease out? I normally use this stuff just for assembly and putting things together. Red and tacky. There you go. It's red and it's tacky. So that's what I use just for general assembly, because it stays put and it seems to be really good. So I'm just going to give the lower bolt a bit of a coat. How are we doing on camera battery? Oh, hanging on by a thread, I would say. Get that in there. I must admit, I'm quite impressed by the look of it. Using the Owletron to preserve everything. I mean, some people, when they're building custom bikes, they go out of their way to make a bike look like this, don't they? They actually weather it up, or whatever you want to call it, to make them look old and rusty. This one's just old and rusty from the get-go. But I say the preservative stuff, that stuff, is Good, I like it. I love this spanner. This was one of my granddad's spanners. He used it on his bikes. I love using his tools whenever I can, to be honest with you. Bit of a link with the past, if you know what I mean. Right, so we could put the rear units on, couldn't we? We could do that, or we could fit the rear footrests. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I was buffing some rust earlier. I think the dust's got up my nose. We could put the rear units on and we could put the footrests on. Might just slave the rear units in for now, just so that the swinging arm's out of the way. We can get access to the footrests. But I think you'll be in agreement with me when I say that it's looking rather good. I'm really pleased. It's coming back, which was always the intention. Right, let me grab the rear units and we'll continue until the camera battery is exhausted. Right, let's get on. I've moved you up and moved you in a bit so you can see a bit better. I'm just going to slave these on for now because I need to go through the fasteners. Not very happy with the fasteners. We've got a washer missing and bits and pieces, so I just want to go through and make sure we've got all the right fasteners for fitting these units. Oh, that fits in there nicely. So get the spiky thing. Where's the spiky thing when you need it? Where is the spiky thing, actually? It's a good question. Right, in absence of the spiky thing, we'll use a screwdriver to pull that into place. There we go. Little tapping stick. Right. One. Some of you will remember that from your childhood. I got the right nuts here. Perhaps not. Anyway, not to worry. We're just slaving them in for now, just to keep the swinging arm out of the way. Because I do want to go through these fasteners. I think I'll probably replace the nuts. Potentially. And the parts manual doesn't specify washers for the lower end. When you look at the parts builder, there's no washer for the lower end. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to machine up some washers for the lower end. Just to finish it off, really, because that nut will go up against the bush there, the steel centre part of the bush. But I'd rather there was a washer there. I think it would look better. But I think you'll agree they look rather champion, don't they? Right, I'll get the other one on, and okay, I've got those done up. The nuts are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They've got good rundown torque on the nylon portions, so we're not changing those for the sake of it. But we do need a washer for the other side, and I don't like this. I know that's what the parts book says, but I'm going to put washers on here as well, just to finish that off. I'll just turn up some washers that are the same diameter as that rubber portion there, just to make it look a little bit nicer, and I think that will be good. So they look amazing, don't they? They really do. That looks the part. So I'll get grab the footrests, rear footrests, and the exhaust bracket on this side, and there's a little bracket on the other side for the brake light switch that goes on. So we can get those started, can't we? There's the footrests. all been buffed up. They need a blob of grease, but they'll get that. They were pretty seized, but once I got them apart, cleaned them up, they were fine. So dog leg towards us. That goes on there like that. Put a little bit of grease on that thread, actually. I'm forgetting myself. Let's just put a little bit of grease on there. This makes future maintenance that little bit easier, doesn't it? If you can get it all apart and it doesn't go rusty. Is it that one? Or is it not that one? Where's it gone? Hopefully you won't spend most of the video listening to me going, where's it gone? Where is it? What does it do with it? But you might do. You might do. It's a risk. That's the one. 9/16. I've ordered new footrest rubbers for the front footrests, the rider footrests, if you like. But I haven't ordered for the rear. They are split. They're not perfect, but they're not going to fall off. And I'm doing this really awkwardly because I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera. But like I say, they're not perfect. They've got a little split in them, but such is life. We can adjust that when the exhaust's on. Such is life, and they are original. So I just want to replace things willy-nilly. I want to kind of want to slightly angle back. I think they look better. I think if you have them upright, they look a bit weird. So that's how we'll have them. Okay, I'm back with charged up batteries. So we should be okay. Just check the microphone's working. It is. Get you in a position where you can see. And we'll do the other footrest. Not very exciting, I know, but it's got to be done, isn't it? On this side, you have this little bracket. It looks like a link. This is for the brake light switch. Brake light switch goes on here, the wipeback style. And then there's a spring. So you've got your switch here, and then there's a spring that goes to the pivot on the brake rod. And that's what pulls the brake light switch. We need to get a new switch because the old one's completely just rotted away, really. But they are available. We'll get one of those at some point when we're wiring the bike up, probably. So I'm just going to put this on. This angle will be, provisional because we'll find the right angle when we fit the switch. Doing it again with the spanners. They're over here now. They go for a little wander by themselves. They don't really. I just put them down. Oh, incoming. Right, so we'll get this one done. It looks about right. Again, we'll just angle it back slightly to match. And match the other one. About there, I think. There we go. That feels alright. Could do with being slightly tighter. So what we'll do, we'll take it apart, put some grease on, put it back together again. There we go. That should be enough. You kind of have a cam action because where that side there is curved, it kind of cams over that this machine surface here. It cams over it and then goes flat, then cams over and goes flat again. That's what kind of, that and the torque of the nut and bolt makes the whole thing work. Pretty simple. Does the job, doesn't it? Let's stick a bit of red tacky. Don't want to overdo it, just enough to stop them from galling. Don't want it everywhere, do we? You don't want it all over your Lionels when you're riding the bike. When you're the passenger, rather. That's good enough, I think. I'm popular today, aren't I? Right. I'll give these a wash. Just a bit of soapy water will bring the rubber up on these a bit. So we'll try that. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Moves easily enough, but it's not, it's not going to fall down by itself. So that's those done. Right. What else can we do? I'll tell you what we can't do. We can't fit the main stand because I'm waiting for the bolts to come in. I've ordered a load of bits. I've ordered the main stand bolts. I've ordered the new spring for the brake pedal, the return spring, because if you look at the old one, if you can see, I get there. Quite badly eaten away there, and that won't last very long. Classic overload fracture from loss of cross-sectional area due to corrosion. But we're not writing the report, so probably taking that a bit far. We've nipped down to Kent to where the bike was found and do some saline swabs in the garden. Now I'm overdoing it. Right, that is one of the main stand bolts. As you can see, they're a shouldered bolt and it's completely worn out. Hardly any, well, no threads really left on it. This portion here is greatly reduced. And the nut that came off of it had absolutely no thread in it at all. It was just it's just a circle. But you just about make out where the threads used to be. But yeah, just tradition and good luck holding it all together. So I've ordered a new pair of stand bolts and a new set of nuts and washers. So when they come, we can put the stand back on. What else have I ordered? I can't remember. Footrest rubbers for the front. Handlebar rubbers, grips. I've ordered those. I've ordered one of these. This is the chain guard extension. Doesn't look bad, but this bit here is just about to fall off. It's cracked, quite badly corroded. So I was hoping to save that, but they're not too expensive. So I've ordered one of those. A couple of nuts, bolts and screws and bits and pieces that I didn't have in stock. That's about it really. Need to get a sprocket before we can fit the wheels, before we can fit the rear wheel at least. I'll have to order that. And we need all the cables as well. Brake cable, clutch cable, we need a speedo cable, and we need a choke cable. So I'll need to get those ordered up as well. But they can wait. We don't need those to get it on its wheels. But we do need a sprocket. We do need the stand bolts, as I've already mentioned. Yeah. that's about it really, I think. We need to get the steering stem on, don't we? So we'll maybe do that next. What I'm trying to do is reduce the amount of parts that are on the bench, because when we come to build the forks, I'd like to have the bench pretty much clear so that we've got all the space to do that. So I think we'll probably put the rider's foot pegs back on. Will we do that now? Or will we wait? We'll wait, I think. We'll wait to put the rider's foot pegs back on. We'll do the steering stem next. So get all the little ball bearings back in, get all that screwed back together, and then with nothing really stopping us putting the handlebars on. So I think what we might do, because I've got it in my monster vise, in the soft jaws, which are the rubbish to most with these soft jaws. They're good enough for doing this to stop it from, because this vise is a real beast and it would just bite into this. So yeah, we'll get it out of here and get it back on the old Deccan Blacker, I think, because it's probably getting a bit heavy now to, well, the vise will support it, because as I say, it's a beast, but probably getting a bit heavy for these rather rubbish soft jaws. I need to get some better ones. Right, we're going to attempt my least favourite job in motorcycle restoration, which is assembling the ball bearing steering head. If you go back in my videos, you'll see that I came up with, well, I didn't actually come up with, I adapted somebody else's idea to fit taper roller bearings to the Bantam. That's what I've done to my off-road project. But it does mean swaging, oh, incoming. It does mean swaging the headstock tube, which is permanent. There's no going back once you've done it, so you've got to get it right. But anyway, we're going to have a go at doing the individual ball bearings. I've already got them. You see that? Yeah, I think you can. I've already got them greased up and sitting on the lower yoke. I've got the bearings, the balls rather, sat in the top, and I've also put the inner race. A lot of people don't do that. They put this up and then they put the inner race on. You know, whichever way you prefer, really. You'll observe that I've got a cable tie around the yoke there, ready to go, so that I can zip tie it to the well, what used to be the steering lock. Don't think it is a steering lock anymore because there's nothing to lock it to. But this lug here anyway, so that I can hold everything together whilst I get the top yoke and the nut and the dust cap and all the rest of it on. So speaking of the dust cap, what have we done with it? Oh, there it is. Right, everything ready. Let me just pan you down a little bit. At floor level, I have what appears to be an improvised cat bed, cardboard box with an old towel in it, just to catch anything if it does all go horribly wrong and fall apart. That is hopefully there, ready to catch all the bits. It could actually be an improvised cat bed. We just need to find an improvised cat to go in it. Right, let's give it a go. There's no point talking about it. Let's just get on and do it. I hate doing this job because I've got very numb fingers. My fingers are quite, they haven't got a lot of feeling in the fingertips. Unlike the song, love is not all around. Anyway, that's nice to caveat the job if I get it wrong. And we'll just ease this in. Oh, I can feel it going wrong already, but never mind. Get that back out again. Something is restricting. Quite sure what. Nothing's moved though, which is always a win. Have another go. Get that nice and square. There we go, that's more like it. That's it. That's it. Right. Now I'm going to hold it all together, whistle up the cable tie. Get it nice and tight. That's it. That's it. Right, that should hold everything together. Whilst we get the top yoke and the nut done up. So I torqued it down, but it went all right in the end. Right, let's get the dust cap on. Well, should have done that earlier. Splayed out a little bit. Just trying to get the I'm out of shot. I know you can't see me. I'm just over at the bench getting the nut to start in the top yoke. There we go. It's just a bit pinched up. I think there's a bit of Owlatron in the hole. I think that's what the problem is. It's not good, is it, to be undone by the very stuff that we bought to make things better. Oh, come on, Dean. It's a threaded fastener. You've done these before, once or twice. There we go. Okay, that's a bit bizarre. Right, I'm going to take that off again because I'm not happy about why it's so tight. The upper bearing assembly together. Sure nothing's moved. Oh, that's still good. Right, so I'm just going to take that apart again, have a look at it. See what's going on. Make sure that the nut runs down. I have run the nut down the stem a couple of times, so you know I'm happy that it's free. But seems to have pinched up rather excessively by going into the top yoke. So let's have a look at that and see what's going on.